Cancelled, cancelled, cancelled. We're like the only flight still going and ours is late. On to LAX and then go to look at a Fuji boat. Have you ever come up with a plan that on paper seems quite doable, but then when that day comes you realize, I've bit off more than I can chew?
Hi, we're Tyler and Julia.
Hey.
We gave ourselves 2 months to meet each other's families in the US and Spain.
It's insane. You gotta try it.
Sail to Africa. And find the perfect boat we can soon sail back to Japan, where we live.
And actually very square. Stand in the middle, yeah, open your arms out.
Spoiler alert.
And here she is.
Yeah. Her name is Ramona.
You see, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to sail across the Pacific. After graduating university, I left the US to find my way in the world, having some adventures, and working along the way. I always went back home to the US each year to spend time with my family. But eventually, I stayed here in Japan, where I now work as a videographer. About 2 years ago, just as I was about to close on my first home, I began to feel anxiety. The idea of settling down anywhere in the world never sat well with me. My childhood dreams of sailing across the Pacific came back in full force. I changed course, left the house, and began looking for a boat that I could sail around Japan and maybe one day back to the US. Here's the Tayana 42. This is Najad 391. What's up, buddy? 43. After over a year of searching, I was still empty-handed. No boat, and my dream drifting further and further away. At this time, in early 2021, my world came crashing down. Suddenly, at the age of 82, my grandmother, who we called Bapshi, passed away. 2 days after she passed, I was back in Los Angeles with my family. I began to rethink everything. I was 36, single, and away from those I loved. As I was returning to Japan, I began to ask myself, why am I here in Japan? What do I want to do? I felt very alone and unclear. My life here and my dream of sailing were all turned upside down. And then, just as soon as Bapshi passed, and on the very day I returned to Japan, Julia came into my life through a series of coincidences. In the boat, you can see it's... You know how to drive a car, right? You know, like when you make a turn and you just release on the handle and then it goes back to where it wants to be. It's actually pretty easy right now. Hey.
No! So I have to find it now and then...
Release?
Yeah.
This was our first date.
That's it.
That's fine. Just keep trying your best. No, you're doing fine actually. Now
No.
you gotta turn more. It's fine. It's not dangerous. As it starts to turn, you can kind of let it out again. So like you fight it and then okay, it's starting to do what you want it to do. Now you want to let go of that so it doesn't go too far, you know? It's kind of a delayed reaction.
Wow.
We felt Bapshi's presence all around us, and I knew she had already been hard at work pulling some strings for us.
I first left Spain for Japan in 2013 as an exchange student. I studied arts, found Kyudo, and never really left. I was working in Osaka and living a very lonely life. I had gotten used to it, but I was yearning for a partner. I hope we can make an episode in the future talking about how we met, because it really is quite a story. But for now, I'll just say that finding each other made all the difference.
Julie and I had a whirlwind first month together and sailed all over Japan. From day one, she knew my dream of sailing, and luckily for me, she was on board. Why are you doing one at a time?
Because it's fun.
Now I want to film.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
Satisfying?
Really satisfying.
We looked at and sailed some more boats with the hope to buy one and someday sail it to the US after having cruised around Japan for a bit. Because, well, we like Japan. We think it's one of the best cruising destinations in the world. Julia's first overnight sail. How is it so far?
Amazing.
With its thousands of free fishing ports, rich culture, and cheap places to get clean after a long day on the sea. We're in Naoshima looking for the sento, the bath. Quite the bathhouse. Cruising sailboats just aren't as common as in other parts of the world. But the truth is, we just didn't fall in love with any of the boats we considered. Finding a boat was a quite similar process to finding love. For us at least, it took a very long time to find the right one. No real tangible reason why it didn't work out before. I guess love's like that. There's just no reason, it just is. But a thought started to form in our minds. We know we want to introduce each other to our families, in person as soon as possible. Especially after Bapshi's passing, it was just so clear to me that time waits for no one. So, rather than someday sailing a boat out of Japan, maybe instead we can find a great affordable boat in the US, now, spend some time with our families, and sail her back to our home here in Japan. This is what our hearts were telling us to do, and we finally listened. So, we arranged some viewings through friends, families, and our screens.
I mean, it's looking good. Sean wants to ride the boat, so he's going to outbid you.
Nice.
Very nice boat.
Yeah, it's real nice. What do you think, Kevin? You want to pitch in with us? Our plan was to buy a boat before going to the US, and we did find a boat. We thought she was the one, but reality kind of got in the way and we were outbid. And in hindsight, we realized the logistics of buying a boat entirely online was just not the ideal approach. It was just too much. It really took the wind out of our sails. But then we realized, okay, we just can't make it work if we're not there. We have to do this in person.
And that's what we did. So in the midst of a pandemic and just about the only people leaving Tokyo airport,
I think they just haven't really gotten started for the day, but Julia thinks it's just because of COVID.
I mean, we're pretty much the only ones here besides the staff.
Tyler and I flew to the US full of excitement and big dreams.
On the next episode... Where are we, guys?
Big Bear.
What is this, Julia?
Yeah. Bloody Mary?
What's in it?
Vodka.
Right, they have the Chinese part.
No, there's two actors here. I'm so sorry.